How do you feel about the MacBook Neo? If you didn't know, I've been running a monthly podcast show with my friend Brandon, aka Has Agent,
who is gonna chill but kill if he has to.
Grandpa.
And while most of the time our conversations constantly digress, sometimes we can be coherent enough to speak on more technical topics. The show is called Great Technical Evening after all. This specific episode from a few weeks back, we decided to talk about the recently released MacBook Neo. If you'd like to catch this sort of stuff from us live, follow us at twitch.tv/coalitionchris and twitch.tv/has_agent. And if you'd like to catch up on previous episodes, they are all available on my second channel, youtube.com/@coalitionchris. Anyways, here's us talking about the MacBook Neo. And yes, I know the audio and microphone config can use some work, but the entire setup is being overhauled, so we'll be back with a stronger config soon. Anyways, enjoy.
The final topic is called The One. It's about the new MacBook Neo.
I think for the price, it's an amazing device.
Yes, that was my thought process.
Yeah.
I think for the price, for it being from Apple, it's an amazing device.
Well,
it's not upgradable, which I
been-
don't like. However, for the people that are aiming for it to buy, I don't think it's that big of an issue.
I've already been like asked about it, like, hey, should I get this for video editing? MacBooks are finally cheap enough, or Macs are finally cheap enough. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong. Do not do that. It's okay at it, but for the people that I know, for what they edit, it is not the right device.
No.
So are you talking about mature, seasoned editors that
Yeah.
want to
Yes.
do advanced?
High quality
Okay.
4K,
Okay.
the crazy shit. Now,
You're really talking that nicely about me?
yeah, but for your average person who's just gonna edit for content as a like, random thing that they do, it's perfectly fine, 100%. Sure, no. But what I'm getting at is people who are Windows users, be that Adobe stuff or DaVinci, who have always looked at Macs and the M series chips for the power that they have for video editing as something that was attractive to them, and then they see this $599 MacBook Neo come out, and they go, maybe I should get that for video editing. They're being misled.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the hardware
No,
that they
him
need.
I
Apple
wouldn't-
misleading people on purpose?
I
It's
wouldn't
not on
say
purpose.
they're
It's
being
not on purpose.
misled.
They're not. It's just that the notoriety of what MacBooks have been capable of because of the M series chips
Sure.
is so broad that a normal user might think that the Neo has an M series chip.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Okay.
It does not.
But I do think that the promotional videos and marketing was towards the right people.
Yeah.
Just-
Oh no, for
Yeah.
sure.
Internet browsing,
Yeah.
email browsing. It's a
For-
glorified Chrome
For
but
basic computing.
way more powerful. But
Yeah,
it's
it's
Chromebook user.
basic to mid. It's not just basic, if you ask
Yeah.
me. It's basic to mid, which is crazy considering it's just a cell phone chip.
For $400, it's a student laptop. That's the perfect laptop
Oh,
for
'cause-
people who only need iPads.
Because of the student
Basically.
discount. To the student discount. Yeah.
Honestly, I think one of the greatest entry video editing machines is a Mac Mini.
Yes,
We
absolutely.
know that.
Yeah, we talked
Your
about
wife
that.
bought one and loves it.
But it runs circles around the Ryzen because she had the 3700X.
Yeah,
It
An
runs
eight?
circles. It
Yeah.
runs circles.
totally. The
It's
M4,
not-
yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just because of the additional encoding media hardware that it has, and it takes the right kind of PC build to measure up. But that you just buy it and there it is and it works.
Yes.
And also just the footprint
Yeah.
The footprint
compared to the
and the
top
power
Macs are just
consumption
a little square.
and the power consumption. Yes,
My only complaint is
I agree,
internal
Beard.
storage. However,
which is upgradable
I-
now.
well, I mean, on the one I have, you can't change it.
No, it's upgradable now. Third-party solutions have come out
Well,
with.
that's what I was about to say.
Yes.
So we have a little base that it sits on,
Right.
And it has an NVMe drive in there.
But I'm saying internally, it can be upgraded. Yeah, third-party solutions have come out with upgradable SSDs for the M4 Mac Mini.
To my point, Beard said a normal user isn't going to care about video editing,
Correct.
and I think
Right.
a normal user might care about video editing, but only like using CapCut. Like
They're going to do that on their phone.
they can, if they can do it on their phone, they could do it on the MacBook Neo.
Correct.
That's my point.
Yep.
They're not caring about high quality 4K edits with all sorts of effects and stuff applied and color correction and all that. No, they're using the social media video editors,
Mhm.
and they can do that just fine. Yeah.
It's not made of cheap materials. It's built
I mean, it
well.
is.
Like they didn't really do many shortcuts
But-
to get the price down. Like it's not a bad
And-
device.
and
for
here's-
the right user.
Here's the thing that
There is a bit of a shortcut, but
here's
get
the
to
thing
it.
that stood out to me about the Neo is the repairability. it is the most repairable MacBook and one of the
Ever.
most repairable Apple products that you can buy today. Like I've seen that the speakers, the battery, keyboard, different components that are not repairable on their MacBook Pro or their MacBook Air lineup is now repairable with the Neo. And I think that's primarily because of the fact that they want to be able to get their foot in the door with probably like school districts, maybe potentially businesses and hospitals where they want to have fleets of these.
Yeah, they'll never get to the Chromebook level,
Right.
But
That ship has sailed.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
But
And I don't think,
they'll be good for good.
Rich schools that are like, we're better than Chromebooks. We're Neos.
I mean,
like
I'm sure those schools exist where they're very, focused on, getting Apple products in the hands of students. So yeah, there's that. I mean, but no one can compete with Chromebooks in terms of price and, availability.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little
even
bit.
repairability. Like part of what I was doing at the end of my career in education sector IT
Yeah.
was repairing Chromebooks, swapping screens, swapping keyboards.
Batteries. and
That
all
was the majority of it. No,
Right.
it's keyboard and screens,
Oh,
the
yeah.
stuff that they're going to touch the most.
Right. Yeah.
And part of it was like, once you get a piece of the adhesive on your screwdriver, roll the screwdriver. Don't pull on it. If you pull on it, it'll rip. Roll it, and it will slowly pull the adhesive off around the entire screen, and then you can undo the adhesive on the new one and slap it on. It's just, I didn't like that very much, but it was a thing that I can just go through like 30 of them in a day.
Yeah. I also think, like I mentioned before, I think it has to deal with the fact that this is part of their initiative to try to get at least some market share in the education sector with getting these devices deployed with students. I think that's part of it. And to do that effectively, they have to be able to deliver a product that's going to allow technicians to do some repairs in-house. That's
You
my
have
thought.
to. You have to. And I like that. And to the repairability thing is that like literally the whole thing is just one blade of PCB.
Right. That's the whole
The
circuit
rest
board.
of the thing is the
Battery
the
speakers.
accessories, but the computer and RAM sit on something like this long, and it's just all on it.
Right.
And then if you wanted to swap it, well, you can just put the new one in and probably recode it, reprogram it to match the hardware or whatever.
Right.
But the problem is where they did end up compromising is they get too hot, and it affects its performance. It doesn't affect the performance where a person would be like, "Oh, this is slow." It's just weird that for any workload, it just immediately goes to over 100 C, which for a cell phone chip, a laptop, I'd call that somewhat normal. But it's been proven that if you cool it properly, the performance goes up by a significant amount. So that is where they cheaped out. They kept the minimum performance level completely acceptable. So they did it right. They didn't cheat and just do it, and people are going to suffer for it. But it can be better. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing that I'm also excited about this product, I mean, number one, first of all, this product isn't for us. I would assume, I'm going to assume right now that for all of us, for what we do, it's definitely not for us. We're not the target audience for this product.
My wife is the target audience
For
this
sure.
product.
For sure. Same thing with my wife. Like they're the kind of people that would totally be a good fit for this type of product. But here's what I will say. I think it's great that Apple is upping the competition in this price range because it's going to put pressure on the other PC manufacturers
Correct.
to do better.
Mhm.
Because when you think, when we think of $500, $600 laptop, we're expecting cheap, plastic, cream,
E-waste.
e-waste.
I'm
We're
not e-waste. I've had to recommend $500 laptops to lots of people.
If I'm being asked about a $500 laptop, I'm thinking like 40, 70. Like I'm thinking like $500 laptop.
I kind of spoiled him though because
Yeah.
$250 laptop for him, touch screen, decent keyboard, decent touchpad, sits there, runs 24/7, no problems.
Yeah. Like I'm very skewed in where my laptop value sits.
But yeah, so I've recommended lots of $500 laptops, but this is where the catch is people will start being like, well, you're comparing what's on sale to what an MSRP is. Apple's always going to be $599 outside of the the student discount for the Neo. They're never going to come down on any special sale or nothing like that. That's not how Apple works. But HP, Dell, other brands, they'll be like, slap a sale on the $600 or $700 model, bring it to $500, and thus you create this false belief that the $500 Windows computer can be better than the $600 Apple computer, but it's really just because of sale price versus MSRP. It gets a little annoying and complicated and all that, but in the end, if somebody asks me for a recommendation on a $500 laptop, I'm going to check the prices that day and be like, get that one. That one's good. And it just happens to be pretty good in all stages, like really good processor count, 16 gigs of RAM. I always aim for 512 to 1 terabyte SSD. And if it's Intel, it's going to have lots of cores nowadays. Anything from 12th gen in a laptop, even at the cheapest level like his, has like 12 cores.
Mine has 13 cores.
Something like that. And then if it's AMD, it's going to have lots of cores, and they're all performance cores. There's no efficiency cores, stuff like that. So
first question is, do you want a game?
Yeah.
You're not going to be gaming on these one laptops.
Well, no, they can.
They can.
But like not like top end games.
Not the games that we play, like
the games that I play, they'll play fine.
Yeah, sure. I mean, they can't. The MacBook Neo, yes, can play games because of obviously, can your iPhone Pros play good games? Yes, they can.
Yeah.
They same processor pretty
My
much.
iPhone can play Muffin Night just fine.
I think they have Resident Evil 2 HD.
Yeah.
They have 4. I don't know. All the Resident Evils, the latest ones, are all on your iPhone.
Yeah.
Which means they'll technically play on the Neo.
Chris's phone is what, 3-4 years old?
2022, I think, is when I got it.
So okay.
Like August or September 2022.
Hayabusa?
What?
What's your phone?
Asus.
No, I thought you had like a.
That was my previous phone. It's down there. It's Huawei. And it's still solid.
The Huawei phones.
Huawei, bro.
They're no iPhone.
And that was from 2017. Actually, originally came out in 2016. I bought it in 2017 at clearance.
No iPhone.
I don't care.
iPhones are the best. They send blue texts.
The blue bubbles. One more thing I wanted to mention. So I know we're talking about, you guys shifted the conversation towards very performance centric. How many cores does the CPU have to justify the value of the laptop? But I think another thing that really amps up the value of the MacBook lineup, whether it's, the Neo with the A series chip or the newer laptops with the M series chips, is their phenomenal battery life. Because as someone that owns an M series chip Apple, laptop, the battery life is on a whole nother level compared to any PC laptop I've ever owned.
And it was because of Apple coming out with the M series chips that the x86 guys stepped up their battery life and their designs and architecture and all that. And now you can get a standard x86 Intel or AMD normal CPU in your laptop, and the battery life is comparable now.
What's the battery life of my laptop?
Your battery's probably fucked because you don't unplug it.
Oh man.
But
I think mine's like 2 hours.
5080 over here. My laptop,
5080.
2 hours battery life. No, but it's true though. Like what Apple is doing is spurring competition.
Yeah,
100%.
that's exactly what I'm saying is the good. That's the good part about it. For being someone that has no plans to buy the Neo, as you guys, I'm guessing as well, have no plans to buy a Neo for your own personal use. I'm saying that this is a good thing to push competition in general in the right direction.
100%. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with it.
And I think it's a really good, solid laptop.
Yeah, it's a good option for people that are looking for...
Like my wife.
Yeah.
HR manager. She sends emails and makes slides.
Yeah.
Join some video calls maybe.
Right.
One thing I love about the M series chips, they are phenomenal, but they are so good that Apple loses sales every single year.
Yeah,
because people don't have a desire to upgrade.
It takes so
Beard
long
has
for
an
them to
M2.
get that
Beard,
much
do you
better.
have any do you plan on buying a new?
Is he
M2?
struggling? I'm guessing not.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
No.
But that's the thing. Like the Apple people that they relied on who would upgrade every year. The people who bought an M1, M2,
They're like, we're
no
good.
interest in an M3, 4, or 5.
The M1 people probably could use an upgrade now.
No, yeah.
But not the M1 Pro or the M1
Max.
Ultra. Just
Max
the
or whatever,
M1s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's 4 cycles later.
Yeah.
Just then they're thinking about upgrading. But
Yeah.
We talk about so many different things on this podcast, including topics such as gaming and being a new dad, whiskey taste testing, craft beer taste testing, technology in general, nostalgia, and a ton of stuff. We're also big on chat interaction, so if you have topics for us to discuss, catch us live. Follow us at twitch.tv/coalitionchris and twitch.tv/has_agent. And if you'd like to catch up on previous episodes, they are all available over on the second channel, youtube.com/@coalitionchris. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this topic. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. I'll catch y'all later.